Okay, so the goal today is to redesign this portal hub tall knuckle. So this is taking inspiration from the Can-Am Maverick R, which has this really funky knuckle design that there's a really great video from a YouTube channel called Shock Therapy where they explain how this works. So basically, the way that this tall knuckle is designed is that the center of the wheel is represented by this line here, and the upper control arm pivot point and the lower control arm pivot point are in line with the center of that wheel and the hub. And that's why it has this funny hoop looking thing here that goes around the outside. And the reason they do that is because the virtual line that this represents is called the kingpin inclination angle. And the closer that is to zero, the less tire scrub you have. And so anyone who's as curious about suspension design as I am, definitely recommend checking out Shock Therapy because they have tons of videos. This particular guy knows everything there is to know about off-road suspension design, and it was his videos that made me realize that I needed to completely redesign everything that I'd done so far. So the main issue with this one is that I have a negative kingpin inclination angle with this design. So you can kind of see on this one that if the wheel was here, then actually let's make that a little bit easier to understand. If the wheel was here, my kingpin inclination angle doesn't even intersect the tire at all. So I realized when I designed this the first time around that the way that the wheel was moving when I cycled the suspension in the model was very strange. So here would be the kingpin inclination angle. So at 47 weld, they have a little bit better kingpin inclination angle. So let's say that represents the tire. That seems realistic. Their kingpin inclination angle is something like this. And so the tire scrub radius is the distance from the center to this intersecting point. And you want that to be, according to the guys at Shock Therapy, less than 1 inch. So that's pretty interesting. I think for this design, don't exactly know how I'm going to do this. So here's the current design. Let's make this transparent and then do a cross section. So this component is failing the cross section. So I'm going to do a little trick here. And I'm going to make a new configuration called section. And then I'm going to go to the right plane. And do a through cut. It's not going to let me do that. Huh. Weird. All right, let's try getting rid of these patterns for this configuration. Make sure that looks right when I switch configurations. Cool. So back in this assembly, I'm going to change this to section view. See if I did it in the right orientation. Yeah, great. All right, cool. So I think this is how I'm going to do it. Oh, hold on, we got stream issues.